comes, we'll let him present and we'll make sure that you can talk then.
That's fine.
Okay, because he might actually answer some of your questions or whatever too, on his presentation. Okay, so both of those were the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so we will take care of that when it comes. No one else, we do open it up for non-agenda items at the end of the meeting. So we'll go ahead and move into B, our routine matters. If I can get a motion for approving the minutes of the regular meeting and executive session that we had on June 16th and our executive session that we had on July 8th.
We'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the regular meeting and executive sessions from June 16, 2025, and the minutes of the executive session of July 8, 2025.
I'll second.
Any discussions on those minutes? All right, all those in favor for approving the regular meeting and executive session on June 16th and the executive session on July 8th, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. B2 is our vouchers and financial reports. We can get a motion for approving those.
We'll make a motion to accept vouchers and financial reports.
I'll second.
And, did you have anything, Tracy?
I just wanted to note that we did update the transfer report. You got a new one on your desk here. I needed to add the $134.40 for the sub meal tickets for May. That was not on the original one that I sent to you. And then just wanted to note the transfers that we had to do for those funds that we are reimbursable, but on June 30th, we have to make them whole for auditing purposes. So then we'll make that transfer back in July. So you saw those on there also. Those are going out of the norm vouchers.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions or comments on those? All right, all those in favor for approving the vouchers and financial reports, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, we have our communications. Our C1 is our project update, and Stacy is here with TechCon to give us some updates there. And we will.
Good evening. This is a kind of a light project update. You all been through the phases with it all. My name is Stacy Abernathy. I'm with TechCon Construction Management, and working with the design team that's led by Lancer Associates. And just giving you a status of design, where it's at right now, and the schedule where we're headed. We've been through design development, and so we're into construction documents, completing the documents right now with all of the detail that goes into that. So we've also design development kind of marks the final budget recalculation. And then from there, as we go through construction document phase, we're looking at every line item to make sure it stays in the rails. So that's where we're at with the budget on working through that. But just to show you where we're at with the buildings and the layout of the buildings, this is the sports and storage annex. We've been through several renditions of that to shrink down. Parking lot on the end, that was twice as big at one point. We got that switched down. You need some kind of access right there though, because you are going to be coming up there with equipment to load stuff into that storage room there on the west end there. So this is the site plan on how that building looks. Go to the next slide. Shows you where on the property that building is going to sit. So it's taking up really a smallerish portion of the west end of the tennis court. And with just the idea that someday in the future, if you needed to add any space, it could happen to the east in that area. The floor plan of this is pretty simple. It's essentially a warehouse, right? And the north side of that is for storage. There's a room on the interior there that is the mechanical room. All your electrical gear is in there. Actually, the HVAC is a package unit sitting on the north that actually shows up on this drawing there. And it's going to have some fairly large ductwork coming there from the north into that room, going vertical up into the bigger space for the athletic portion of the building. 2 bathrooms and single toilet bathrooms, an entryway, and the big open area there is the only thing in that area are the 2 batting cages that are suspended from the structure, and those batting cages are being relocated from the gym in the building right now. So we're just going to uninstall them, take them over there and install them. So this project essentially has no equipment to speak of. And it's a big open space. So next slide shows you what the elevation view of it. The lower portion of that, if you look on the left, lower portion is the storage part of it. And that has an overhead door to be able to get some larger things like your track pads and those kinds of things. There's also an overhead door that goes between the 2 spaces on the inside. And the high portion there is for the athletic practice. So the reason for the height is with those batting cages hanging in there, they're suspended and they come down when they're in use. And when you put it back up, we need enough clear space in there so that we can do some throwing a football and those kinds of things across the space and have enough clear space to do that. So basically, this has always been for outdoor athletics, outdoor sports, for those kids to be able to come in inclement weather and continue to practice in the space.
Stacy, what is the height of the overhead door on the storage side?
It's probably 12. I have to go back to my drawing and look. I don't remember.
Okay, I can see the elevation. And what is the ceiling, rough ceiling height on the storage? I know it's a slope, but.
The low part of that, I think it's about 14,
14.
I think. I can get you those numbers exact, but we'll not remember that. The low part of the high portion, the clear at the bottom, I think we're shooting for around 26. So this is a pre-engineered metal building, and it's got tapered beams in it. So, you got to account for that as clear space as well. Okay. I'll say this too, when you look at these drawings are further along and have additional changes to them, because it's a dynamic process and it's continuing to happen even right now, so. That's just the inside look of it there. That actually is masonry up to the stripe, 10 foot, just for durability. Mainly is why we're doing that with hitting balls, golf balls, baseballs, all those kinds of things. We're thinking durability for it.